Hello, and thanks for using TickBoom. In this question, we're looking at working out how to answer question 4 part B from this textbook. But actually, we're going to find that answering for part A will actually help us to answer part B. So I'll actually answer the whole thing. But the focus is on part B. The facts are that we've got a reducing balance loan. The amount of the loan was $780,000. The interest rate was 6% per annum. The length of the loan is 12 years, and we've got fortnightly repayments of $3,805.82. Part B is concerned with the total interest payable, but I'll also answer Part A, which is about the total amount that has to be repaid. So to get started, let's write out the facts that we've got. So we've got our principal, the total amount we borrowed, which was $780,000. We're told that the interest rate is equal to 6% per annum. The length of the loan is 12 years. And the fortnightly repayment that I'll call X is equal to $3,805.82 per fortnight. So part A of the question asks us, what is the total amount of our repayments? So the total of the X over the life of the loan. Now we know the loan goes for 12 years, and if we're making fortnightly repayments, that means we're making that repayment 26 times per year, because there's 52 weeks in the year, 2 weeks per fortnight, so 52 divided by 2 gives us 26. So our total repayments is simply equal to the 12 years multiplied by the 26 fortnights multiplied by the 3,805.82 that we pay per fortnight. So I'll just get my calculator, and if we key that in, 12 times 26 times 3,805.82, we get the total repayments of $1,187,415.84. So that's part A done, and that will help us get to part B. Before I move on, it's interesting to look at the facts of this question. We've borrowed just a touch under 800,000, 780,000. Yeah, we're paying back over $1 million, nearly $1.2 million. And that's kind of not particularly unrealistic. That's actually quite good, given we're paying it off so quickly. So it's always something to keep in mind when you borrow money, large amounts of money for over a long period of time. You end up paying quite a lot back, quite a lot more than what you borrowed. But moving along, the next part of this question, part B, was asking us what is the total interest that we're going to have to pay. Now, in the facts of the question, we're told the interest rate, and that's almost a little bit of a trick because you don't actually need to make use of that to answer this question. There is a more straightforward way to work out the total interest. And it partly comes down to knowing that when you pay off a loan, the total amount that you pay in the end will by definition be the principal, the amount that you borrowed, plus the interest, the total interest. Those two things together are what you're paying when you make your repayments. Now, with an amortising loan, what that really means is that even though over time the amount of your repayment is the same, in our case the 3,805, that's the same amount that we're paying every fortnight, the breakdown of that repayment changes over time. So at first, the vast bulk of that repayment is made up of interest, and only a very small amount of the principal is being paid off. But by the time we get to the end of the loan, that's reversed. We're paying very little interest, but quite a lot of the principal gets repaid with each of these repayments. But the key point to note is that our total repayments is the interest plus principal. So I can just rearrange this to say the total interest is equal to the total repayments minus the principal. And as I mentioned earlier, the reason why doing part A was helpful is because we've just worked out these total repayments. And we already know the principal, so this becomes a very easy calculation. It's simply the 1,187,415.84 minus the 780,000 that we were told in the facts. So I can just get my calculator. I've already got the first bit, so I can subtract from that 780 and we get interest as 407,415.84. And they're underscoring that's a lot of interest to pay over 12 years, which kind of highlights when you are thinking about entering into large loans, it's helpful to do this kind of math to make yourself realize just how much more am I going to have to pay back than what I borrowed. So there you have it. That's how you can go about that question. Almost a little bit of a trick to be told the interest rate, almost there to potentially confuse you or make you think that this question could be harder than it really is. At the end of the day, knowing that what you repay is always going to be the total of the principal and interest lets you work this out quite simply. So I hope you found that helpful, and tick boom.